Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Astro Chit Chat. My name is Shivani and I'm here to talk to you about astrology. As I mentioned earlier, we would discuss about the planets in Vedic astrology. So basically, Vedic astrology is nothing but a game of universe, a game of planets, and the game of cosmic energy. Cosmic energy drives our thoughts, and our thoughts further turn into actions. So, without wasting much time, let's start with the planets. Planets that are having physical existence are Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn. And Rahu and Ketu are two planets which are not having any physical existence in Vedic astrology. They are just two nodes of the moon. Uh, Sun and Moon are luminaries, basically planets which emit a lot of light and energy. So here goes Sun and Moon. Uh, so the two slow-moving planets are Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter takes around 1 year to transit from one sign to another, or from one house to another. You'll come to know as we progress and we talk about planets in a particular sign or in a particular nakshatra or in a particular house. And when it comes to Saturn, Saturn takes about 2.5 years to transit from one sign to another. So let's begin with Sun first. So what is Sun? Sun is basically lots of energy, lots of life. Life on our earth is due to Sun. Sun represents governance because in our solar system, Sun is right in the center, whereas it's surrounded all by planets. Sun represents authority. Sun represents government jobs in our birth chart, in a particular placement, of course. And Sun represents our soul. That's it in brief if I have to talk about Sun. If we talk about Moon now, Moon represents our mind. Oh, Sun also represents your father, by the way, or your relationship with your father can be seen with the position of Sun in your birth chart. To talk about Moon, the same, it's the opposite, but Moon represents your mind, Moon represents your mother. Just like Sun represents your father, Moon represents your mother in your birth chart. Moon represents positive or negative mind. Moon represents emotions. Moon represents all the business or activities which are with respect to women. Moon represents a weak mind or a strong mind. However, it's placed in your chart. However, if it's a beneficial planet, it will give out benefic results. If it's a negative planet, negatively placed planet in your birth chart, it will give out negative results. Further talking about Jupiter, Jupiter is wisdom, Jupiter is our guru, Jupiter is all our teachers, Jupiter is happiness, and Jupiter is expansion. So Jupiter is a very positive planet which can give a lot in return, and if placed in a very positive sign and positive house, can give a lots of positivity. Then we talk about Saturn. Saturn is a disciplinarian. Saturn is a judge. So basically, he's the guy who is watching us with all our karmas and all our deeds. So that's how Saturn is. Saturn is a disciplinarian. We will talk about Sade Sati in this. So basically, we will talk Sade Sati in detail in the later videos. But in brief, if I have to tell you what is Sade Sati is a span of 7 years in 3 particular signs at a time. So 2.5 years in a sign, 2.5 years in the next, and 2.5 years in the next. So at a time, it affects 3 zodiac signs. That is called as Sade Sati. It can be extremely beneficial or it can be extremely negative based on the position of Saturn in your chart. That's all about Saturn is what I can say for now. Then we talk about Mars. Mars is a fiery soldier. Mars is that aggressive planet. Mars is energy. Mars is that drive. Mars is willpower. Mars can instill a lot of negativity if it's negatively placed. Again, negatively, it can show emotions such as jealousy, aggressiveness, a lot of ill energy, That's what Mars can represent if negatively. If benefic, it can give a lot of positive energy and positive strength in you to fight. It is a fighter. So Mars, if positively placed, can give a lot of benefit. Mars, as I mentioned, we will talk about Manglik dosha when it comes to Mars. Right now, in brief, Manglik dosha is if Mars is present in the first house, second house, fourth house, seventh house, and yeah, the trine basically. It if it present in the trine, that is Mars Manglik dosha. So we will talk about Manglik dosha in detail, but for now, briefly, that's what Manglik dosha is. A person who is a Manglik should marry a Manglik to increase the compatibility of the couple. I think we are done with all the planets almost. Yeah, Mercury. So Mercury represents our nervous system. Mercury represents intellect. Mercury represents communication, speech. Mercury also represents banking, commerce, and what else does Mercury represent? Mercury represents, of course, commerce, logical ability. A very good logical ability or a bad logical ability is represented by Mercury in our birth chart. So that's all about planets. I think we are left with Venus. Yeah, Venus represents beauty, Venus represents art, Venus represents luxury, Venus represents the fashion industry, Venus represents a job in fashion industry or the airline industry, hospitality industry. Venus represents the wife in the male's chart. So if you want to check out what kind of a wife a male will have, you will have to check the position of Venus in the birth chart. Similarly, if you want to check the position of husband in a female's chart, you have to check the position of Jupiter in the female's chart. That's how it is, vice versa. Yeah, and that's it. I'm almost done with the videos by sharing a lot of brief significance of all these planets and their effects. So characteristics and effects, of course. I wanted to share a small concept with you before we move on to our next video. In the next video, this will help us a lot to understand planets and their positions. So imagine if you are at your friend's place, how will you feel? You are all geared up to have fun, you are enjoying, you are having a nice time, you are having fun of your life. So you feel very nice, right? You feel rested, you feel comfortable with your friends, you're having a good time. That's how it is with the planets. If a planet is placed in a friendly sign, the planet will be very comfortable and having the best time of its life and giving out the best of its results. Imagine you are in your own house. How are you going to feel? Of course, you will feel comfortable and you will give good results. You are in a happy position, you will give out good results. That's the same with planets. If the planet is in its own house, if it is the ruler of a particular house and it's sitting in its own house, it's going to give out good results. Again, if you're in your enemy's house, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel vulnerable, you're going to feel sad, you're going to feel depressed. That's how, again, a planet, if placed in the enemy's house, is going to feel negatively. So that's a concept for now we have to understand as we move further, because we will be talking about planets and their placements in particular signs and particular houses. So briefly, I would just say that for example, if you take Mars is a ruler of Scorpio and Aries. So if Mars in a particular birth chart is placed in Aries or Scorpio, it's going to give comfortable and good results. If it's going to be placed in a friendly sign, it's going to give out exalted results. And if it's going to be placed in a negative sign or an enemy sign, it's going to give out negative results. That's how a basic concept is to remember. For now, that's all I wanted to talk to you about planets, and in our next video we are going to catch up on the 12 houses of your birth chart and what those 12 houses depict or say govern the areas of your life. And that's all. I hope you had a good time with me, We will again catch up in the next video. Till then, take care and have fun. Namaste.